Hello?
Hey,
What's up?
not much. So just chilling, I guess.
So this is gonna be partly a like a therapy session for me, because
Therapy, okay. But why?
I'm going through a midlife crisis with this game, and I just
Sounds great. Sounds great.
the feeling that I've had for like so many of these games was that that I end up tilting myself in like a cycle where like I'll notice like, okay, yo, I'm winning lane. Okay, good. I'm gonna try and work on my positioning. I'm gonna try and do place good wards and all this stuff, but I don't see like the turnaround, and then just like consistently seeing like me not able to carry as fast as my team can throw.
You basically need some advice on how you can get your lead on two other lanes and how to use it to close out games.
Also, your voice is magical, I just want to say.
Well, but I got that really awkward German English
It
stuff.
sounds amazing.
Okay. Well.
That's a good response. Okay. So I normally, being right now, this is in, I think, yeah, this is gold 4. I
Okay.
usually go bot just to like stop invades like this from happening, just having that presence, but sometimes it doesn't work like this. Would you suggest me still just giving vision for the top buff? So like blue for this case?
Yeah, you should do that. Actually, your team has like no possibility to invade the enemy here. No kill pressure at level 1 if you invade. You could just ward the enemy buff or ward the pixel bush.
Okay.
And yeah, stay safe.
Okay.
In general, warding pixel bush is just, it's really good at around like 115 to 120 as the
Okay.
top laner.
This shit pissed me off.
Yeah, man, that's not good. You're losing
Yeah. I
XP in
was
top lane,
Yep.
and your jungler is yeah losing now too. Well, you got a splash, but yeah.
I felt like that could have been successful if he was like a little hesitant with like, because he jumped on Garen. Garen didn't know we were there. I thought like if he waited a little bit. So keep in mind with this gameplay as well. Like I think there was a point in which I was like tilted towards the end. Like you could probably see it. I haven't looked back on this replay fully.
We will see
Yeah.
what happens. But this level 1 was like really bad. You could have done so much more in staying in lane, controlling your wave, and yeah,
So
you lost XP, you lost gold, and yeah, just don't go for risky plays. So if
my jungler did like say want to do something like that, what should I do? Ping him off or like not like go with
just
it?
just don't do it. Honestly, just don't do it. Just tell him he should start blue, and you will help him out there. But
Okay.
it's a 50-50 basically, because you got no hard CC on level 1. If you got hard CC, you could have CC'd him and then yeah, just smite and at least get his flash. But yeah,
Okay.
I mean, what could you do? It's 50-50. If you win that, it's okay, but it's bad for your lane because you are late anyways. If you lose it, it's really, really, really bad for your lane, because losing early XP is the worst that can actually happen, besides dying, obviously.
And this Orin was a complete animal, so.
Yeah, well, that was just a free kill.
Now another thing that I feel like I don't know that if I'm doing correctly, because I look back on some of my replays with one of my friends, and I don't think I understand the full concept of wave management. So for example, I killed him right now. He has 5 seconds on his until he respawns. Yeah. So what should I be doing with the wave right now? Should I be just immediately going back so I can match him, or should I be pushing
you
it?
can at this point, the wave is pushing into him. You got 4 casters, 3 melees. They're not really low, so the wave will get pushed because casters deal more damage than melee minions do. One opportunity here: you know that the wave will crash into the other wave, and that the next wave is like really, really far away. You see it's at your inhibitor turret right now. So you just push out the wave as good as you can, and then take a base and use that gold. Just a free reset, save your TP, and walk up top lane. That's what I would do here.
Okay, so but if the wave wasn't pushing towards him, then I should just leave the wave as is so that it's pushing towards my tower?
Yeah, that's correct. So
and then would I TP in then, or no?
Yeah, you would TP in. You would base, and then you would TP in. You have an advantage of about, I guess, 400 gold, something around that then, and maybe 350, so 1 longsword. So you can basically freeze the lane as long as you can hold it, and deny a lot of CS. This player really looks like he would do something stupid, like fighting you in a stacked wave or something. So if he fights you in a wave, you can easily kill him because of your item advantage. He should have no chance. Yeah, just freeze him till you get like a 20 CS advantage or something. And
as for wave management goes, that should be like almost always, if it's pushing, push it
lane,
out. If it's not,
in top lane, in the most matchups, it's like really just wave controlling. Just freeze the wave.
Okay.
He can't do anything. He will either he is forced to stay really far behind and lose XP and gold, or he will take a lot of damage from you. Yeah, you can even ask for his assistance. You can ping that he has no teleport right now. Maybe even in chat, just ask politely, remember politely. Many players just ask, man, fucking jungle, come top, you idiot. And then, yeah, I wouldn't come top either. So.
All right, you called me out. You got me. I really don't have like a good relationship with junglers. At least like
I can understand it. The jungler is always like the bad boy.
Yeah, and just like being in top lane, like I don't have a good.
So in this situation, you should at least get his flash. Yeah, you got it, and you got the kill. So you ask your jungle right now to help you push the lane.
Okay, I should like just ping assistance just to
ping it, and if he goes away, right, help me push lane, and maybe he comes back. If he helps you push the lane, you can actually get a big advantage. You need to push that wave too. Not pushing that wave costs you a lot because
it's going to be pushed by him, right? It's going to be slow pushing, and he'll be able to catch it.
If he would be a good player, he could freeze you till the end of days now.
Okay.
And you don't want that to happen in your situation right now. You're super ahead.
All right, so at this point, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I've actually done this in a couple games. I don't know if this is the right call to do at all. But if I have TP up and I see that the wave is pushed up to his turret like it is now, obviously because of my bad wave management, I would go into other lanes. And then if I need to match up top because he pushed it, I would TP in reverse. So would that ever be a good thing, or is that the iron in me coming out?
Not really.
Okay.
To be honest, not really. So you can do it if you play mid lane. I mean, maybe it's a bit of your old mid lane habit to try to get to other lanes and help them. But as a top laner, you are trying to look for those TP plays on bot lane rather than your straight up walking to bot lane plays.
So rather than like doing a play and then TPing up, I should be just keeping myself top and then just TPing down. Don't try and flip it.
Right, because you will miss a lot of XP. If you just straight up walk top lane, see, like Kai'Sa dropped pretty low, so she had to TP backboard, and you didn't even got the chance to even try and help him out. So yeah, you missed.
Also, yeah, he hit 6 before I did too.
Yeah, you missed a lot of XP by walking into your bot side jungle, and yeah, you got basically nothing. But the wave is pretty nicely stacked right now, so you could freeze it. You can pull him. Right, good. That's exactly what I meant. just pull the minions outside of the turret range, so they don't crash into turret.
Yeah, I believe I was freezing, and then I was just trying to like get around to harass the shit out of him still, because I knew he was, you know.
Yeah, just take 3 Qs when he has your passive on him, and yeah, try to W his combo, because his knockup combo, because that's the only thing he can really deal you some damage with, and it's pretty easy to block. I mean,
The one where he's charging rather than the one where he's like doing the breath.
He's literally charging for like half a second or something.
Okay.
You can just press W, block it, and profit from it, and kill him afterwards if you can, or deal him a lot of damage.
Okay. And then I go to fast push here, but Fiora without timeout is my god.
Yeah, a bit awkward.
Yeah.
That's the right move.
So, I don't know if you want to see the positioning. Yeah.
Bot lane. And that's actually good.
You think that's a beneficial TP?
It was. You denied him a kill and got one for Senna.
Now, was this fine here for me to shove this wave? Again,
yeah.
Okay.
You have to take it because you TP'd for it, you didn't got a kill, and your ADC is not there, and you are going to lose a top lane wave.
Okay.
At least one top lane wave. So you need the XP and the gold
to make up for...
You need to get it somewhere, and that's the right move to take it.
Okay.
I mean, it's like a nice thing if you let it for your AD carry, but it's a bad move gameplay wise.
Okay. Now, the other thing is that I feel like I restrict myself too much to the top lane, and I don't have enough like movement on the map, I guess. So like,
I mean, it's pretty hard to get a good movement of top lane.
Is that why top lane sucks?
That's why everyone says top lane is useless, and mid lane and jungle are much better. And yeah, they are better because you can get more impact on the map if you get a lead, or even if you don't get a lead, you can at least do something.
Okay.
Top lane, it's hard. You need either TP, or you can look for some mid lane roams.
Okay.
That's possible too. You could, if you don't want to freeze the lane out and have more impact, you got a pretty good lead right now, so you could just hard push him. You have a good vision going on top lane, so you're not running into the risk of getting ganked. And even if you can just back off, so just hard push him here, and then maybe try to assist Zed in mid lane. You can pretty easily kill Garen if you got your ultimate ready.
Now, just refresh my mind. What's a half push?
It's like...
Is that where you just kill the casters, or...?
Yeah, it's right. It's where you kill the casters, and then let your wave kill the enemy melee minions.
So when it's push up to the tower, should I be like trying to apply this type of pressure, or should I like be looking to roam here at all, or no? What would be better?
You can try to get some plates here. It's fine.
Okay.
It's okay. Ornn is not really a threat right now because he's low on mana, he's low on HP, and if he engages you, you can W his knock-up combo thing and stun him. Shyvana putting that Herald in top lane is totally fine. Ornn can't do shit. After you got the turret, you can then begin to be the roaming top lane. Push in the next wave together with your jungler. You can maybe even go for Crux.
Garen jungle's too scary. I guess I just backed.
Garen jungle is too scary. Yeah.
And this, so like this was like another example where I feel like it has paid off a lot, but that's the main reason I wanted to ask you, because again, I'm leaving Ornn top, getting free waves, no pressure at all. But then in certain circumstances like this, where Irelia's pretty fed, I'm able to like catch her out, get a kill.
That's good. That's really good.
Help
and
out
now
Zed.
You just know it's a mistake to go top lane. You need to push mid lane. You see every enemy on the map right now. You could have seen that Jhin is bot lane, and you definitely see Garen and Janna and Ornn. It's better to get the mid turret right here than just, I don't know, maybe he's able to get the turret, but even if mid turret is more worth than losing your top lane turret, especially when the enemy's top lane turret is down already.
So it's better to take turrets rather than saving one that was gonna fall.
By destroying the mid lane turret, you're opening up a really big portion of the map to your team. Because you can take the 2 jungle entrances that are between the inner turret and the first mid lane turret, and you can like go through them too. It's basically opening up the enemy jungle. The wave is a bit unlucky right now on top lane.
Because it's gonna start pushing back out.
Yeah, you should have pushed one more. If Shyvana reacts, you can kill her. If not, it's a bit risky because she was really fat, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is that, like, again, like I said, like, I feel like the teams I've been getting they feed quicker than I can get fed. So, like, this Zed is 1-5, and our Kaisa is 0-3. So at this point, I'm kind of like in panic mode where I'm like, all right, I need to get shit done like everywhere else.
At this point, you're doing the right thing. Like right now, you're doing almost everything acceptable, to say the least.
That's a nice word of saying that you're doing kind of shit, but
no, it's okay, but it could be better. You're walking a lot around without really knowing where you should like bring yourself into the game next.
Where I should be.
Yeah, to show presence. So at this point, your main objective should be to get Herald and then get mid lane. So maybe you can catch off Irelia, that's basically guaranteed Herald. Yeah. So at this point, just push one top lane wave.
And then we should go for Herald.
Go for Herald, yeah. That would have been the play here, the right play. Shyvana comes. You should be able to fight them. Yeah. Should just get Herald now and then get mid lane done. Maybe even get a second charge on the inner turret. Would be really, really good. It's okay that you fight him there.
Just a zone.
Yeah, zone him out from Herald. Top lane is pushing for you, so next objective obviously should be Drake. How much gold do you have? Can you like... So you got almost 1.5k gold here. You could reset, but Drake is pretty much gone then. The enemy is on it because your bot lane resetted and your mid lane resetted. So it's basically gone, you can't fight it anymore. So you just I would just let it fall at this point.
Okay.
It's 4v3. There's no way you can get it. Your Senna running into that is not really beneficial. So you traded 3 for 4 and lost Drake. You got 3 kills, that's good for you, but in general it's not really good. You did your best to like compensate the damage your Senna did.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's not really on you, to be honest.
Is that something where
like, you didn't really went in like a berserk and try to like a hero steal a Drake or something. So yeah, you had to take those kills or it would have been a lot worse.
So should I be spam pinging at that point, like for Senna to back off from Dragon and all that?
Do it, or just type in chat if you see enemy has like a big amount of players around Drake, then just type in chat, let Drake fall or something.
Okay.
Or let enemies do Drake, or don't don't fight a Drake. Let him do it or something. That's what I often do.
Now at this point, I think I told Kaisa that she should go top. Is that technically the right call at this point? But she was already here, so then I was like, oh, let me see if I can try and catch Aurelia out.
They should get mid lane turret. Why should Kaisa go top? I mean, turret is done.
Okay.
Yeah, they can defend your 200 HP top lane turret. That's not really useful right now for your team. So you should put all your effort into mid lane turret. If you side lane, your team should put the entire effort into getting that mid lane turret.
Okay. So if this is opening up a whole new concept to me. Hold up. So if there's no top lane turret, or say there's no bot lane turret, we shouldn't be in that lane unless we're split pushing or whatever, and we should just focus all our energy into forcing it on, like, say, mid, for example, here.
You got no objectives right now. So you can't get Drake, you can't get Herald, but you can possibly, you're pretty strong right now, and I guess you can 1v1 Aurelia. You can possibly get bot lane turret by staying in the 1v1 situation, maybe killing Aurelia and getting the turret, or the enemies can come bot lane, but then you will open up space in mid. So your team can take the mid turret. You may die for it, but I would say it's worth it. I would say it's worth that they get pressure on mid and maybe even get some damage on that inner turret.
Okay. All right.
So that's really the opportunities there. Kai'Sa dying there is really unnecessary. She should have just stayed with the team, but your team is not really moving right. You may need to...
I saved that top turret. See, if only I knew the knowledge I knew now, that I could let that turret fall.
I would just let it fall. Push bot lane. Just push bot lane there. It's basically free turret. Or they have to move. Garen and Jenna have to move bot lane. You will open up some free space in mid lane. Also, Zed was going top lane too.
I just noticed that, yeah. That's what I was just about to say.
It was not really necessary, to be honest.
You could say I'm shit now. It's all right. I understand.
No. You can't say someone is shit because you do some mistakes in League. League is a game where you can learn so much. You will basically never learn it entirely. It's impossible. It's not like learning a language or something. It's like learning 50 languages. You need to know damage, the exact damage of champions with certain items at certain points in the game, and exact cooldowns, and yeah, that's, if you got all that in your brain, you're like a mastermind LEC player or something.
That was very deep. You touched my soul on that one.
It's true. It's really true. If you want to get like to that really high level, you need to know all of that.
I fucked up here, by the way. If you want to look away real quick.
I'm not here to look away. Yeah, that's just poor decision making.
Yeah.
It's fine.
If this is probably around the time that I started getting tilted. Because this is what I was talking about, like, where my mental starts to get really weak. Like, I used to thought I had a good, like, strong mental, but when I see, like, the 0-5 Kaisa and the 2-6 Zed, it's like it puts more pressure, I think, on myself, where I'm like, why am I continuously getting teams in which this is the scenario where, like, it's always like I usually win my lane, or I usually always do well, but then I keep getting these consistently, like, animal teams,
Yeah,
but
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
What I just noticed, that Ornn already has an anti-healing item, and so the enemies will maybe build even one more. Maybe go just Trinity before you finish up your Ravenous Hydra.
You think I should go finish Trinity?
Would be an opportunity. Trinity is a huge boss back. I mean, Ravenous too. But Ornn has Bramblevest, so Trinity will be lowered by... I guess 30 or 40%. So the heal will be a lot less, and Trinity is guaranteed damage. and a really, really huge power spike because of the 20% cooldown reduction for you. That's huge.
You just changed my life. The normal, like, I think even my build seems kind of like stale as well. I think I usually switch between like Ravenous Hydra, Trinity, because those are almost like core with Fiora, and then I'll go Sterix if like I find myself being like targeted in team fights early, or I'll go Death's Dance if I'm like ahead of everyone, which I know they're going to be changing those items the upcoming patch anyway. But I don't know. I feel like still sometimes like I don't know which order I should go. Like for example, you just telling me that. Like, is there any items that you know in Fiora's kit that work well with Fiora's kit that I should think about switching in and out?
So Trinity is basically the real key component you need to get. In this
Would I do that
specific
after
game,
getting time at, or is that also depending on if?
Timer is always a priority because of the pushing power you get from it.
Okay.
Otherwise, like we said before, it's pretty awkward to push. And yeah, time at first, then go for whether or not you finish your boots before you completely finish your Trinity. It's more of a comfort thing, I guess.
Okay.
If you're playing against, like, let's say, a Riven top lane, it's maybe beneficial to go Ninja Tabi for lane. It really depends. Aggressive matchup, I would build defensive boots after Tiamat, and in like matchups against things like Ornn or players that play like Ornn,
Trinity.
you can build Trinity to get even more power onto your lane.
So do you think in most cases I would be finishing Trinity or Ravenous first? Depending on obviously on the champion, but
Yeah.
in what scenario would I?
I mean,
Like if I'm going against somebody who does have like who is going to build Bramble, I shouldn't do Ravenous first.
no, you shouldn't. And if you're going against somebody that could buy Executioners in his build, like Riven could buy Executioners really early, and good Rivens will buy Executioners really early on.
Just stop building it and go to Trinity.
Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, yeah. You can even, if you see, man, they got Executioners, enemy AD carry is attack speed reliant AD carry and will probably go Executioners too. And let's say you got a heal support on top of that, so they are going to build anti-healing. Maybe switch it out entirely. Maybe just go for the HP one, the
Titanic.
Titanic Hydra.
Okay.
That's an opportunity.
Yeah.
It really depends. Like, if you are the main damage source in your team, you can keep Ravenous because it will give you more DPS than Titanic will. But Titanic and Sterix and Trinity together is a huge thing to have. You will basically live forever, be tanky as hell. Yeah, it's really, really good.
I also got fucked up here because I didn't have any vision, and then I just went ham. There's nothing to dissect here again. You just look away.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you obviously have to keep the map in mind.
Yeah.
You can't just assume everyone is AFK farming an enemy jungle.
Because now they get dragon out of it, and since I'm like one of the bigger threats, right? This is like huge for like even team fights.
Yeah. But again, your Shyvana is trolling a bit. I don't know what she's doing in topside right now. That's just, she's clearing the enemy camps, but she has a lot of CS. She has a lot of gold. But she is... You're full 80, basically. And your Shyvana is building 80. So
Oh shit.
that's basically trolling. I don't know why she's doing it, but if she was going AP, I guess you would have had far more chances, because now the enemy is just stacking armor and you
Yeah.
will slowly die a painful death. And they got on, so he's the armor stack king, the tank king at the moment. At some point he will just be more useful than you are. That's sad, because you played much better than he did.
Mm-hmm.
But he had the better team, and he, yeah, has just to stack armor up. I guess just Ramos would be better here, maybe Malphite, but then on.
Because here's like the concept that like me and my friend keep trying to tell each other. It's like you have people who have like 89% win rates on like accounts that they might have started like mid elo. Like obviously these guys are smurfing, but how are they able to carry their games to a point where they do have like an 89%? And like if that's the case, how come I'm not able to get to like an 89? Just because like obviously you can manipulate your game.
I had accounts with like, I guess 98% in Platinum 1 on the EU West.
Okay.
So we did it. I must say we did it in duo queue. So we basically abused the system.
Okay.
We were just two pretty good players, smurfing, and yeah, we said we play until we lose one, and after we lost one, we just let the accounts die.
Mm-hmm.
Duo queue is abusable when you got a good partner. You won't get 89% win rate in your like main elo. That's not possible.
Mm-hmm.
Just, it may be possible, but you need to play some really cheesy shit like funneling Teriki mid lane or something.
Okay.
Then it's possible, of course. But it's hard to pull off. You got to be a really good player to do it.
Okay.
And yeah, I guess you can.
Because
But
like
just
the thought of like people being able to win games, because if you say you did have like an 89 or like an 80% win rate or something close to that, there obviously that person is doing something right. So the games in which I lose where my team is like, you know, shitting the bed, like the 0-6 Kaisa this game, the 3-8 Zed, and the Shyvana who's going AD, like obviously those people have had teammates like this. So why can't I, or what am I doing? Like I try to nitpick as much as I can.
If we say the one that has this high win rate is playing solo, he most likely will
Is doing that cheese shit like you said?
No, he most likely will be a one trick or a really high elo player. Yeah, I won't be able to solo climb to Diamond 3 on another account with like say 80% win rates. It won't be possible because my skill level is not high enough. But I will be able to get like to mid platinum or something with an 80% win rate. Those people, exactly, it's like what I told you a few minutes ago. They know exactly in which matchup they can deal at what certain point, what amount of damage. They can almost perfectly track enemy cooldowns and exploit like every mistake the enemy does. So they basically use the mistakes to get a lead, snowball the lane, snowball other lanes. They will always be teammate to play with because they will try to get those objectives. They will try to force as much pressure as they can on your side lanes as if you're, for example, a mid laner who's doing this. And that's how those people achieve super high win rates, or by using duo or both. Imagine both players mid to high diamond and smurfing in gold. 25 games or 30 because they changed the rank system, so you need more games to rank up actually. And you see them, oh man, 92% win rate, they must be crazy, but everything they do is just exploiting enemy mistakes.
So you're saying I have studying to do?
you
I need to learn
definitely have
all of the cooldowns.
that. No, you don't need to learn all of them. You don't need. Oh, you can't need. Like I said, you can't learn all of them.
Yeah.
But 80% is not 100.
Yeah.
So you can learn most of them, and you don't need to know them like to a point where you can tell it in a frame of 1 second if he has an ability up or not.
Okay.
So it's enough if you can say like he has OT like plus or minus 5 seconds and abilities of 2 seconds. The frame I would set that you need to know to actually dominate matchups.
I guess another common question I have is that so Fiora, she's really good because she's a dueler at split pushing. So like sometimes I find like I don't know, like I just always instinctively go to the side lane just because, for instance, I'm fed here, so if anyone were to come at me, except for probably Irelia, I wouldn't win, but I'm trying to still apply that pressure. When should I usually meet up with my team for team fights, and when should I split push? Should I just be looking for, if I have TP up, that I should primarily split push? Or
It's pretty simple. You make your decision of split pushing. You connect it to objectives that are up right now. So let's say top lane could be split pushed by you, but the dragon is up. And you know your team won't get dragon if you don't go top lane. I guess there's only one point where it would be worth, and that's if you can TP on a wave right in front of a inhibitor turret, get the inhibitor turret, and get an inhibitor for Drake.
okay.
And tell your team to just don't fight. Maybe just don't give him the Drake for free. Let them know that your team is there, and put some pressure on it, so they may delay Drake a bit. That's the only scenario where I can think of where it's actually good to split in top lane or split in any lane. Keep in mind what is available on the map right now. If Nash is not up and Dragon is not up, you can be anywhere you want basically on the map. You should be on a side lane. If Drake comes up in a time span, let's say, of 45 seconds, you should start to move to your Drake and your team.
Okay. I don't know what I was doing here. I don't know if I was juking out Ornn or whatever, but I guess I don't.
I mean, Drake is up now. Your team died, so you can't contest anything, even if you would TP. So pushing is right. But what I would have done, it's exactly what you do right now.
Go straight for the inhib.
Straight for inhib. Go straight for inhib. Don't even touch the wave once. Just go for inhib, and on the way back, you can go for the minions that are left over.
I don't think I get out of this one. I don't remember. But with that Janna, yeah, probably not.
If Gavin Qs you, you're dead.
Probably most definitely not worth dying for, right? So if I ignored that wave in the beginning and immediately worked on the inhib, I probably would have got out, right?
Yeah. If you would have just gone straight for the inhib, you would have gone out. You could have even like went into a top lane bush anywhere and TP for bot lane so bot lane doesn't fall. No, you traded inhib for inhib and your team is dying. That's not really good. Your Zed is, I don't know, chilling in top lane, I guess. It's pretty hard, actually. That game was pretty hard for you to win. Your bot lane had zero presence in the game, really. Your jungler did a lot of real bad mistakes, and yeah, your mid laner wasn't the best either. You did well, but you could have done a few things better, like not getting really unnecessarily catched in bot lane there. That was really not necessary. In early, you could get that mid lane turret. I don't really know, but I guess if you put enough pressure on mid, you would have gotten it, or maybe you would have forced some fights at the point where you were really strong and could have turned your bad lanes into maybe a little bit useful ones. If they get some gold or assist gold off of that one. Yeah.
So
It's pretty hard actually to win this game because you are full AD, and yeah,
thanks to Shyvana.
thanks to Shyvana and thanks to Kaiser. Kaiser could have gone AP2. I guess she would have been much better for your team then. But yeah.
So aside from like the major things that I thought like I needed fixing on, what do you think I should try to focus on improving with?
You obviously need to work a bit on your wave management. It's not that bad, but sometimes you decide to push where you just don't need to push. You can often just chill on your waves and use it to put the enemy behind. Don't think that you have to constantly like put pressure onto something to be useful. Sometimes it's useful too to deny the enemy 600 or 800 gold through a really good freeze and a lot of XP.
As far as there weren't actually many team fights that I was in this match, but what do you think my positioning should be in team fights? Because I find my as Fiora, yeah, because I feel that I sometimes emphasize too much on the back line, and then sometimes I emphasize too much on, you know, somebody that I can just melt with the true damage for my ult.
Get one squishy carry out of the team fight. You may need to sacrifice yourself. You have to like put it into perspective. If the enemy you kill is more worth for the enemy team than you are for your team. So let's say Jin was pretty fat early on, gotten the possibility at some point to just kill Jin. You just go for the kill on Jin, but what will happen? Aurelia will just roll over your team. Garen will just roll over your team, and you died, Jin died, but your entire team is dead. So in this game, I would recommend that you play a bit more defensive and wait for enemies to engage and use that engage to get down the carry that is engaging together with your team, and then go for the next like bigger threat and even go all in on that one.
So if Irelia jumped in, I would kill Irelia, and then I'd try and go for Garen next if he was closer.
Right, you would try to go for Aurelia, but then you would try, if in reach, you would try to go get Jin, or maybe even if he's not in reach, just if you can put like a bit of pressure on him, that he has to move away, that he has to kite, that he can't deal that much damage. It's better than just going straight for someone in the backline. You need to, especially when behind, you need to exploit the enemy's mistakes. You can't rely on some magical superpower gameplay you may be able to pull off.
That's what I was relying on this whole time.
Yeah, I know, but that's not the way League works, actually. It's sad, I know.
Yeah.
But individual skill is not everything. That's what good players do, like every game. You know how high elo games are turned? Yeah, through mistakes of enemies. Not through super good hyper plays from some magical one trick. I mean, that's the only way I could really see you winning the game, by exploiting mistakes the enemy does in team fights. Greetings go out to your chat.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for my therapy session.
Yeah,
I appreciate your wisdom.
I like to share my wisdom, honestly, and I like to share my voice.
It is beautiful.